Hello all and welcome to another 7 minutes or less. Now, not too long ago I did a review for the PlayStation 3 version of Bioshock, but now we're heading back to Rapture for Bioshock 2. Whereas in the first game you were a geezer who wound up in Rapture, in this one you play as a big daddy. I have to mention the intro, it was amazing, and as soon as I saw it I was absolutely gripped. It starts off with Subject Delta, the first big daddy to form a bond with a little sister, and it's really nice, lovely and wonderful, but she gets into trouble so he steps in to protect her until someone throws a mind control plasmid at him. And then this happens.
Remove your helmet. Take the pistol. Place it against your head. Fire.
Somehow he survives shooting himself in the head and wakes up a number of years later post Bioshock 1, and it's this guy we now control. The aim is to track down Eleanor and find out what happened to her since she was taken by her birth mother Sophia Lamb, but of course things aren't as straightforward as it first seems. Eleanor, now grown up, helps you throughout the game and talks to you about her life before she became a little sister, and there are some nice twists along the way that put new light on what you're trying to achieve.
To force all Rapture's minds and memories into the poor girl.
I'd heard a lot of people complain about the fact we're now playing as a big daddy searching for their little sister because he would be doing it out of instinct. Protecting the little sister is what he's been genetically and psychologically modified to do. People say he isn't doing it out of love, he's doing it because that's what he's been programmed to do, which makes it harder for the player to care about the character's relationship and get invested in the story, but I didn't interpret it that way. It seemed to me like he wanted to be with Eleanor and wanted to find her. He may not have been that way before he shot himself in the intro, but it was as though what happened reversed some of the psychological conditioning, allowing at least some of his humanity to come back. It seemed to me as though he genuinely cares for Eleanor, and knowing she was with Sophia Lamb was the driving force behind wanting to rescue her. After all, look at what Holloway says if you let her live.
You had me under a gun, yet you just walk away. No monster alive turns the other cheek. No monster does that. A thinking man does that.
But enough about that. As you can see from the footage, the gameplay is still the same. You have your weapons and plasmids, but now you can dual wield one of each at any one time, so you no longer have to switch between them, which made things so much better. I mainly used the same plasmids as last time, like Electroshock, Inferno and Telekinesis. They served me well in the first game, so why fix what ain't broke? Having finished the game though, I do kinda wish I'd tried some of the others out a bit more just for the variation, but future playthroughs can solve that. There are a few new weapons and some are rather funky. Pinning people to the wall with the spear gun never got dull, and each weapon has multiple ammo types it can use, as well as a few more upgrades on offer this time round, so the RPG side of things is a tad better. The exploration side of things is just as good in this game as it was in the original. Some of the areas in Bioshock 2 are massive, and it may only allow you to explore half an area when you first get there, but that still means you have a lot of places to venture around later on. The problem with this is that some of the loading times are rather long, 53 seconds in some cases, yes I timed it, but these load times are few and far between, mainly when loading a save file, so it's not so bad having a 53-second load screen when the next load screen isn't for another couple of hours. Those tape recordings are back, giving more info on the backstory and what's going on. Once again, there are a lot of them by many different people about different subjects, including people and events from the first game, but as the story is easier to understand this time round, it's not too difficult to piece the parts together. I briefly mentioned earlier there are times you can choose to kill someone or let them live, but due to how the backstory makes your goal less straightforward than it first seemed, it can be a difficult decision. Unless you get attacked by a splicer, fend them off, turn around to find they've died during the attack. The big pansy. One change I particularly liked is the hacking. I didn't mind the hacking in the original, though it did become a bit of a chore towards the end. In this one, the pipes game has been launched out of the window in favour of what is essentially a quick-time event, but done right. A needle moves back and forth across the panel, and you just have to press the button when the needle is on the green or blue area. Some items require you to succeed once, whereas others require more, like saves where you have to do 5. You also get a remote hacking dart, which allows you to hack things from a distance, which is brilliant. It's all a lot less hassle than this stupid pipe swapping crap, so it gets a thumbs up from me. Gathering Adam is slightly different too. You kill a Big Daddy and can then either adopt the little sister or harvest her there and then. If you adopt her, she'll show you where Adam can be harvested from bodies, which gives you extra Adam. Thing is, her harvesting the Adam draws the attention of splicers who attack you and the little sister, and it's up to you to make sure they don't kill her. After harvesting from 2 bodies, you can choose whether to harvest or save her just like before. The sections where splicers attack also seem to have gotten a lot of grief, but I didn't mind them. I never lost the little sister, but with how many attacked during the harvest, it's difficult to keep them all at bay, and there were times the splicers got past me and attacked her. Then again, maybe if she'd have done it a bit quicker, it wouldn't have happened, so really, it's all her own damn fault. There's one last thing to mention. Big sisters. These appear every now and then after dealing with a little sister. They're the little sisters from the first game that have grown up and managed the new little sisters. They're now pretty much nastier versions of Big Daddies. I did the game on easy and the big sisters were still an absolute bitch to defeat, so I dread to think what they'd be like on harder difficulties. You get some nice goodies for beating them, but that's easier said than done. At heart, Bioshock 2 is very similar to the original, but there are enough differences to give it its own identity. It fixes a few problems, and as a result, not only did I thoroughly enjoy playing it, but I actually preferred it to the first one. I won't be doing a review of Bioshock Infinite because Justin's already covered that one, here's a link to his video, but all I'll say is he enjoyed it a lot more than I did. See you next time.